Hello everyone, welcome to the winter update developer stream for Alien Horizon. Today is going to be a bit shorter stream. I'm not going to play the game after the changelog. I'm only going to show the changes, and they're actually not that long. This is it's not going to be as big of an update as the last one. It's there actually isn't all that much that's going to be added to the preview alpha version. After this update, there are going to be only 2 more updates, one in spring and one in summer. So yeah, can you hear me well, everyone? Let me just wait for confirmation. Hello. Oh, I hope it's okay. Well, let's see the changelog then. Oh, the first thing you can actually already. The music is a bit loud. Oh, okay. Well, let me just turn it down a bit. Okay. The first change is actually visible on the main screen, right here. You can see that there's now a button that lets you continue the last save game. If you click it, it will automatically load the last game. But let me just go over the changelog in order. Okay. Let me make a new sandbox game so I can show you what's here. Okay, there's now a new priority setting for workplaces. As you can see here, if you go to workplace, then now there's priority. And if you set it to high, it doesn't actually mean that everyone is going to flock to this workplace immediately. It just means that they're going to have slightly higher chance of going to this workplace, of choosing this one instead of others. It has roughly the same effect as the night shift, which colonists avoid. So now with higher priority there, it's going to exactly overcome the effect of night shift. And you can also set it to low, and the colonists will avoid it the same way they avoid the night shift. The most important part of this priority system is that it allows you to, in case you have a worker shortage, it allows you to prioritize the important structures, which mostly means, at least in my case, I usually use it for schools, because if you have a shortage of teachers in schools, the result is that you then have fewer experts, and then the problem gets even worse. You have less teachers then, and you get even less people who have the expertise that you need. So this should hopefully solve it. That's all for the features. Then there's some new content, a few new structures. So let me show you. The first one is the corner store, which is actually a unit of the community center, which is available once you get short-term survival, and it works exactly like the store, except it's smaller, and you can use it almost immediately. So now you can change the law, not this button, the law for goods distribution much sooner, and the colonists will just visit the store for getting their goods. In the rewrite, I actually want to get rid of this law completely, and just have the pick up at stores law. because the pickup at warehouses is actually causing some issues. They're minor but annoying. Like before you switch, the colonists tend to visit the stores as if they were warehouses. Also, when they visit the warehouses and get their consumer goods, they leave behind scrap, and then the scrap, like you can see, they already have some scrap textiles here. So when you have a special storage for these, it gets moved to to that storage, but it gets moved to one by one, like this 0.28 points of scrap textiles get moved by one truck, and it's very inefficient. So yeah, I would like to get rid of it long term, but I can't really do it in preview alpha because it would break safes, and I don't want to do that now. The next new structure is a multi-faith temple. It's finally some structure that colonists can use to get some of their religion need. Works for all faiths because right now they're not distinguished in any way, but I'd like them to be in the future. So as you can see, provides religion and social. Another new structure is the playground where children can play, which is mostly important because too young children can't visit the fitness center, and no children can visit the bar. So this is kind of way for them to get their fitness and social need, but it also provides some nature and joy. And only children up to age 12 can use it. Let me just take a look at it. I'd say it's a pretty nice looking playground. I'd like to have one when I was little. Well, some like this. Well, another one is yeah, here, small park, which provides a lot of nature and relaxation. So now the colonists have much better option to fulfill their nature needs. Before it was only possible in farms and greenhouses, but this provides much more, and it's a specialized structure just for that. So you can put it anywhere you need, not like the greenhouses where you basically want them to put them near the life support facilities. And the last structure, these structures are mostly about recreation. No more greenhouses on mid of the city. Yes, that's exactly the idea. And the last one is the VR entertainment center, which is a very large structure. Provides a lot of different services. And it's very expensive, needs a lot of workers to operate. And it's kind of an end game service for people if you really want to spoil them. Yeah, a lot of people. Unlike the small park, which actually just needs one person to work. Motivates temple needs a few, so does the playground. Yeah. There are also some new technologies that go with the new structures, specifically the multi-faith temple and VR entertainment center. And then we're going to the UX improvements. One question about it. If you supply food for houses, the huts keep need. Oh, sorry, I don't understand. The huts keep need the kitchen house. Can you rephrase that? I don't think I understand it. Uh, Let me just skip a bit because I've already shown that. Yeah, information about how much of us need services provide in their selection window. Here you can see that in the provided services, it doesn't just say that this provides joy, social fitness, and nature, but also how much. And oh, not what I wanted. And if you select the colonist, you can see their needs here, and this directly corresponds to these numbers. So if a colonist visits a service that provides two, this need rises by two. So you can see here that this provides two joy, two social, two fitness, and one nature. You can see that three nature, two relaxation, one fitness. So now you can see which of these recreational structures are better at what. The citizens need the cooking house. Oh yeah, you mean the canteen? The canteen food supply. If you provide, actually, colonists can either go to the canteen or cook at home, and for them to be able to cook at home, they need to have a proper home, so not a bunk house and not boarding house. It has to be a home that has at least space for couples or families, and they buy their food in the stores. But they can still visit the canteen because they prefer whatever's closer, and there's also some randomness involved. So canteens still are kind of important in that they are necessary for people who live in bunk houses and boarding houses, and they can also shorten the walk when they need to get food, because if they're near a canteen and very far away from home, they prefer the canteen. Okay, then there we have some very nice new features for managing your colony. Here in the colony statistics, there are these two new tabs. Here's Age Pyramid, which shows you. Let me just load some other save where it will be more visible. Oh, sorry. Oh, looks like it crashed actually. I'm going to need to fix this in the God fix that's going to come. Sorry about it. I'll take a look into it. There's always a hotfix about a week after the main update because of stuff like this. This was my testing colony, so let me just show the H pyramid in a more advanced colony, because it will be much more visible what it actually is. It's interesting that I've tested this build quite a bit, and I never encountered this crash. But you know, it always goes like this when you're showing things to people. That's when they go wrong. And yeah, this is a bit advanced colony, so it takes a while to load. The loading times are also something that I would like to address in the rewrite, because right now it only loads on one core in one thread, so that's not ideal. So yeah, this is my testing colony. Let me just look at the statistics. Here's the age pyramid. So here you can see that you have children at the bottom and old people at the top, and you see how many of each there are. You can see like there are 25 males age 76, and on the other side female, and other in the middle. And here you can nicely see that this colony's population is growing because the number of children is much higher than the number of adults or old people. So this should help with managing the population. The second important new tool for managing the colony is the resource balance tab here. Here you can see each of the resources, and you can see how much of it are you're producing, consuming, and the balance, and how big are your reserves. So you can see if you're producing enough. Like you can see here that I'm producing a bit slightly less food than I should. So food is going to go down in the future. Or like basic construction, I'm producing enough steel and concrete, but not enough invar or refractory bricks, and so on. And this goes for every resource in the game, including scrap. Actually, let me just talk a bit about this. The consumption includes everything, including the goods the colonists use, even the maintenance that's expected. So you can see that if you did nothing about the colony, this is exactly how much you would be, how much you would be either having a surplus or not having enough. And this is expecting that everything is working as expected, which means that, for example, if you set some factory to work at 100% productivity, it expects it to work at 100%, but if because the colonists working there are not working at 100%, the productivity goes down. It's not reflected in these statistics. These are just theoretical. This is what it's expected, but it may be less or more depending on the real situation. So, but it should still give you information that's useful in like give you an overall picture. That's what I wanted to say. What else? Yeah, if you select survey office now, like here the surveyor garage, I added these buttons for surveying and exploring, which just bring you to these tools here, because new players often don't realize that these buttons are here, and they try to see how they can survey or explore by clicking on the survey office and hoping that they will find it there. So now they do. Now it's here. Yeah, and then there's the continue button. That's a small thing. A tutorial for that, which tells the player that to turn on the reactor when they're out of power, because I've noticed that some players don't realize this. There's a tooltip. When you have a tutorial open, there's a tooltip in the pause. When you mouse over the pause button, it tells you why you can't unpause, because the tutorial forces pause on you, because I don't want you to start more tutorials and confuse you. And some objective text have been improved. Yeah, and that's about it. And other texts. Another important thing is that now students studying in labs in colleges handle changing their schools much better. So when you actually build a college now and turn off schools in the labs, the students should just transfer over without losing anything, like the field that they have chosen or their progress. They actually didn't lose progress before either, but they rewrote their chosen field, and you could end up with fewer people of that field than you should have had. And another thing that I noticed since I got the age pyramid working is that colonists actually lived for way too long. They very often got to live to their 90s or even over 100. So I made them die a bit earlier. So now colonists die usually in their 80s, sometimes a bit more. Like in this colony, there aren't that many people, and the colony isn't that old, so the oldest people are actually 85. But it can go in the 90s, but it's not very likely. It depends a lot on their health, which was already in the game previously. And it's also very important from a balancing point of view, because previously you had a lot of retired people you had to take care of. And now they die sooner, so you don't have to. Which sounds a bit morbid, but yeah. That's what players tell me. They don't like taking care of their old. And then there are several fixes, some crashes. Nothing. I think there's nothing that is really worth talking about. Oh yeah, in the last update, I changed the colonists to use buses less often. Like it's when you have a very short bus route, so they wouldn't get overloaded. They only use the bus route if it would save them less, at least an hour of walking. But this didn't work correctly, so I fixed that. Now it didn't work correctly. They were using it even less than they should have. Even when they were supposed to go on a longer journey, as long as the stops were close enough, even if even if they skipped the stop, they still considered it as if it was too short a distance, and so they almost didn't use buses at all in the uh, in like buses that were going only around the city and not like outposts like I'm building here. I'm building an outpost here, building a road to here to it, and this is actually what buses were meant for. As you can see, they're going here. Oh, I don't have enough storage space. That doesn't matter. So yeah, this was fixed. So now they should use the buses more. And yeah, that's about it. I don't think there are any more bugs that are worth talking about. So let me just conclude this. Go to the main menu. Yes. And there's the crash again. that's kind of bad. But at least it doesn't happen during the game. It only happens when you leave the game. Yeah, there's going to be a hotfix on that very soon. Let me just fire up the game again. At least I hope it's not in any other circumstance. But I fixed the one crash that happened when you were leaving the game, so now there's a new one. So it's the same as it was before. It's just a different crash. Sorry about that. So yeah, let me just release the update. If you have any questions, now would be a good time, as I'm going to release everything. Okay. Let me check. Okay, that would be it. Okay. And finally Steam. And that should be it. Is a normal overload security measure? Not really. So, if there are no more questions, the update is up. You can play it now. At least I hope so. I have nothing else went wrong today. And I guess I will work on that crash to make it fixed by next week. Hopefully it will not affect you that much. Hopefully it's rare and it was only a coincidence that it happened twice in one stream. So there's going to be another update in the spring, and there will be a stream again for that. I would also like to start writing devlogs next year to show people not just on Discord how the rewrite is progressing. Because if you go to Discord, you can actually see some pictures from the rewrite, some interesting stuff maybe. I'd like to put it more publicly on Steam and on Itch, so that should be on next year's agenda. Then there are going to be the two updates. In spring and in summer, and after that I would like to focus on the rewrite completely and hopefully get it out at least into early access before the year ends. Hopefully before. I would actually like to do it in early November, because releasing anything in holiday season is not a good idea. Too many sales, people have other ideas, so in that case it would have to wait for 2026, but we'll see. Most of the most difficult work on the rewrite is already done. It should be a bit faster now. So yeah, see you in the next stream. Bye.